Ashocyananva shochastvam pragdavadansha bhashase gatasuna gatasumsha. The last line, the last quarter. Nanu shochanti pandita. Wise people do not grieve. It means those who grieve are not wise people.
Namaskar, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaskar. Thank you so much for taking the time for this episode. It's really wonderful to have you here, and I'm sure everybody who listens to this would gain a lot from whatever we are going to discuss. Swamiji, before we start, could you give a quick background on your journey till now? How did you get started into this field, and how the progression has been?
By the grace of Ishvara, I was interested in spiritual inquiry since very early childhood. When I was about 17, I met one Swamiji. Now he is known as Swami Brahmatmananji. And I had some questions regarding Ishvara, whether Ishvara is all pervasive or not. Somehow I had that guts feeling or some idea that he must be all pervasive. But one organization which I was visiting, I was going to, they were telling that no, God is not all pervasive. But somehow I was thinking he must be all pervasive. And I asked that question to that Swamiji, what does he think about it? And he explained to me how God is all pervasive in the first meeting itself. And I was very much impressed by that. And I think from that day onwards, my journey started. And within few months, with his association, I got conviction that this is the life worth living. So I decided to have life like him. He became my role model. Of course, I completed my education in engineering, and then I worked for 2-3 years, and then I joined the ashram which he started, and I did my 3-year Vedanta course with him in Baroda. And after that study, I wanted to study further, and then I went to Rishikesh. In Rishikesh, there is an ashram called Swami Dayananda Ashram. I stayed there, and I studied with Swami Vishardanandji. And of course, Swami Dayananda used to come, and I used to study with him as well. I stayed there for 3 years, and then Swami Dayananda suggested me to go to Bangalore for teaching. And then in 94, I went to Bangalore, and I was there for 20 years teaching there. And then Swamiji told me in 2013 to start Vedanta course in Coimbatore. And since 2014, I am here and I am teaching Vedanta. And it's a wonderful journey of discovering the glory of oneself. Yes.
So, Swamiji, you completed your engineering, but in your
Yes.
mind, was your chosen path always clear?
Yeah. In fact, I wanted to choose that particular course which will involve less effort and less money, so that I don't have to burden my family. That much clarity was there. So my everything was guided by this particular destination only. But Swamiji, with whom I was going to study, he suggested that it is better to go for engineering because it will help you study Vedanta better. It will make your mind more analytic. That's why I chose engineering. Otherwise, I would have done commerce. Yeah. So everything was guided by that only.
And since that time, Swamiji, you are at Arsha Vidya in Anaita.
Yeah, it was known by earlier. It was Swamiji was in Chinmay Mission, and then Swami Dayananda founded this ashram called Arsha. But it is almost the same.
Right. So, Swamiji, in fact, just carrying on from the thread which you said of analytical ability, which is usually focused on in engineering, and we come to Vedanta. The core topic of today's discussion is around entrepreneurship, businesses, startups. And I myself am in such a field. And what I can see these days is there are certain qualities which are highlighted as being necessary to be successful, or success as we define it in this field. And those qualities are qualities of aggression or hustling, or just cutthroat competition, and similar mindsets. On the face of it, all these qualities seem to be non compliant with what we learn when somebody goes into a spiritual mindset. And even on the side of viragya or viveka, or any of those qualities seem to be not compliant with this field. So could you throw some light, and then we can take more questions on that part?
First of all, we need to be very clear about the concept of success. In fact, that will decide your attitude towards life, attitude towards all the activities you do. Most of the people have got wrong concept of success. People, most of them think that success means I earn lot of money, lot of name, lot of property I have. That is not real success. Success is bringing out your potential to the maximum extent and being satisfied with yourself. That is success. If that is the definition of success or concept of success for me, then most of the values which we entertaining will be dropped. We don't require aggression, we require assertiveness. You can be assertive without becoming aggressive. And while being assertive, you can be humble as well. I am firm in what I am saying, but I am humble as well. Aggression is little bit, offensive, whereas assertiveness is being clear about oneself, being convinced of what one is thinking, and we can present our views with firmness and humility. So, what aggression can do, even assertiveness with humility also can. And as I said, whenever my concept of success is proper, then most of the things will fall in their place. And even this competitive spirit is not really required. What is required is my commitment to excellence. If I am committed to excellence, people have to come to me. I have to go after the world. That is not the right approach. You excel to that extent that people have to come to you. And therefore, most of the values which are highlighted and which are, uh, emphasized are wrong values. So we need to correct our values. And even success, so-called success, even material success can be gained with right values. We have to disinvest from wrong values and invest on right values.
Swamiji, where do we go wrong in our definition of success? Because it seems right from our childhood, right from our schooling, there is a clear path which is set up. But you are saying there is a need to redefine success as we see it. Where do we go wrong?
Because mainly because we go by what is called peer pressure, or sometimes by just seeing people, or we go by the common definition of success. What everybody is telling must be right. Need not be so.
Hmm.
Truth is not decided by majority. We need to know that majority of the people will have wrong values only, and therefore we need not think that whatever all people are saying, I mean most of the people are saying, that alone should be success. I have to ask myself, what for success? Whatever success I am defining as, what for it? Success is for me or I am for success? Success should subserve me. I should not subserve success, isn't it? Success is for me. I am not for success. And therefore, success should subserve me by making me happy, making me satisfied with myself. That matters the most. And if I'm evaluating the success, the concept of success in terms of my satisfaction with myself, then I will have refined understanding of success, and that will help us in setting our priorities properly and even deciding our value system. Because values are those which are valued by you, and you value something depending upon what you consider as success. Therefore, you correct your definition of success. Don't go by the common thinking. Just because everybody is thinking, therefore it must be right. That's not correct. We don't say that everything what people think is wrong. We don't say that. That is other extreme. We don't have to just deviate from common path for the heck of it. But we go by viveka, by using our discrimination. That really what people consider success is success, or real success can be something else. At the end of the day, I need to be happy with myself. That is real success. Not just earning money, becoming principal number one in the business or in any field. That is not success. Yes, you bring out your potential, whatever potential Bhagwan has given to you bring it out. And for that, you choose your field, make efforts for that, so that your potential is brought out. And you enjoy what you are doing. You are satisfied not only with the outcome, you are satisfied with the process itself. The journey itself is a joy. We don't wait for the destination to come. That is the path of success.
Swamiji, two things you mentioned. One was, at least when we try to redefine success, one was achieving our potential, and second was being satisfied with ourselves with the process. How should somebody recognize their potential? What would be the process to really understanding this is who I am, this is where I should go?
Potential will be indicated by our inclination. Whatever you are inclined to, you seem to have more potential. Like I have more potential in teaching because since early childhood I have been teaching. Even in when I was in college, that time itself people used to come and learn from me. You will be surprised to know that when I was in the hostel, that time itself I used to conduct classes on Vedanta with, and I used to teach my co-students. So it comes very naturally to me. And Bhagwan also provides that setup. And your mind goes very easily to that. It is not a burden for you. When you are doing something and it is not a burden to you, that is the area in which you have potential.
Right. And how would one proceed towards becoming more satisfied with what they have or with the process?
By by seeing that my choice is only with reference to action, I can do the action. I do not have mastery. I do not have full say over the result. So let me focus on what is to be done, not so much on the outcome. It is something like this batsman. He has to focus on making runs. He should not keep on seeing to the scoreboard. If he looks at the scoreboard every now and then, he will get out. So focus on the process. The result will be taken care of. And I enjoy the process. That is how you be satisfied. See, I am talking to you. I enjoy talking to you. I do not say that whether people will like it and they will ask me to ask me to do it again and all this. No. Right now, I am enjoying the process. The very journey itself is a joy.
Swamiji, is a certain bit of assertiveness required to even be satisfied with the process?
Yes, yes. That's why I said that assertiveness is required. One needs to be assertive because if you are not assertive, then people think we are not confident and they will try to influence us. And therefore, we need to be assertive when we are convinced of something and when we know what we are saying is right. Not that I am saying, therefore it is right, but it is right, therefore I am saying. That should be the that should be the approach. There's a difference, no?
Yeah. And continuing with the thought of redefining success, should we also redefine the way we look at money and assets? And
Yes, yes, correct. We always remember money is the means, not the end. When money becomes the end, then only people get into problem and people go for scams. When we know that money is the means, we should not belittle this money. Money is definitely important. We, in fact, in our culture, we worship money as Lakshmi. Our culture is a very practical culture. We give place to everything. There is a place for everything, and let everything be in its place. That is our approach. So, money has a place, and let us give the place it deserves. Not more, not less. Anything, not only money, relationship also is a means. Anything, our body is the means. So look upon the means as the means and not the end. That is also one part of being happy, being satisfied with oneself. This is otherwise called objectivity. Objectivity means seeing things as they are, not less, not more. Seeing money as something useful, but not everything. That is called objectivity with reference to money. Similarly, objectivity with reference to everything. The body is the means. Sharira madhyam kalu dharma sadhanam. It is an important means for doing right things. So I don't become careless about the body. At the same time, I don't get obsessed with the condition of the body. Health freak, they call it. That also we don't do. Give proper place to everything in life. Give proper place to everything it deserves. So money, relationship, body, everything, we remain objective. Objectivity is a sign of maturity, even sign of spirituality. I would say.
uh, Swamiji, a lot of what you mentioned, uh, for those who are, let's say, let's call the term a rat race. So while we are continuing running in it, all of these things seem alien to us. So even being satisfied with the process or redefining, understanding our potential, all of these require for us to take a step back, pause, and reevaluate the situation. But most of us are continuously running. So, what would those initial first steps be for us to take a step back and be able to really see, as you said, really objectively see for things as they are?
So, if one requires to step back, one should do it. Just because I am running and therefore I should not continue running. Perhaps I am running in wrong direction. So we need to take a pause and see whether what I am doing is right. In fact, one should spend time at least once a month or once a year, 1 or 2 days, taking stock of one's life and evaluate what one is doing. We set our priorities in the light of our introspection, our satsang. So we should not be stuck with whatever we are doing just because we were doing.
Hmm.
Some people have this, I am doing this because I was doing this. It's not correct. I may be doing wrong thing. So earlier I was telling 4 plus 2 is 7 and therefore now 4 plus 2 is 7. That's not a correct approach. Let me see what 4 plus 2 is. So similarly, Even though we continue to do what is to be done, but we need to check whether what we are doing is in right direction. Is it taking me to where I finally want in my life, where I want to reach in my life? Because the success of efforts is evaluated in terms of taking me where I want to reach. Just because I am running at greater speed doesn't mean I am successful. I may be running in wrong direction, opposite direction. So instead of increasing the speed of running, once in a while I should check the direction also of my running. And therefore, we need to take some time, at least as I said, once a month or once in a year at least, and see whether my priorities are proper, my concept of success is proper or not. That is why these type of programs are. The very fact that somebody is going to listen to this means somebody he or she has some value for correction, and that one should do it. In life, we should not go mechanically, analyzing whether our direction is correct. Instead of increasing the speed, let us check the direction.
Uh, Swamiji, for those who are, so as you said, there would be people listening to this episode and as well as being curious about what exactly this is. Are there any initial practices which you could recommend to people who are just getting started, who have really not taken any step towards it?
You mean spirituality?
Right.
See, first of all, I would like to remove some misconceptions about spirituality. People think that growing beard or wearing some particular type of dress, wearing some mala, or always sitting for meditation, all these things are spirituality. Spiritual person may be doing many of the things, maybe growing beard. In fact, we don't grow beard. Beard grows, say, we don't grow beard. But he or she might have something, some particular dress, etc. But dress does not make you spiritual. We need to know that. Or staying in the ashram does not make you spiritual. Just doing meditation doesn't make you spiritual. What is the definition of spirituality? My commitment to inner growth leading to the self discovery is spirituality. My commitment to inner growth leading to self discovery, discovery of myself to be limitless. That is for spirituality. It has nothing to do with your dress, nothing to do with your growing beard or not growing beard, nothing to do with your staying in the ashram, nothing to do with your wearing dhotis or wearing jeans. It has something to do with your commitment. Commitment to inner growth, which will lead you finally to the discovery of yourself being limitless. You yourself are the ultimate source of happiness. That discovery is the ultimate goal of spirituality. But it starts with my commitment to inner growth. And inner growth is characterized by certain features. First of them is, as I said, objectivity. Means seeing things as they are, not giving extra value, not looking down upon things, nor giving exaggerated value. As I said, money, relationship, etc. That is objectivity. That is the first feature of spirituality, inner growth, to which one has got commitment. Second thing is there is relative self acceptance. Most of the people have this inferiority complex. There is a feeling that, I am not good. He's better than me. Whereas inner growth, one sign of inner growth is there is relative self acceptance. I accept myself as I am. And my self acceptance is expressed in the form of my gratitude to Bhagavan or higher power, whatever you call it. The third thing of this spirituality, inner growth, to which the spiritual person has got commitment, is expansion of the mind. There are no narrow considerations. This is my state person, this is my country person, or this is my community. There is no such. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That is the sign of inner growth. Vasudeva Kutumbakam means the whole world is a family. Means a person does not have such narrow consideration of one's own caste, one's own gender, one's own community, one's own state, one's own village, etc. And another sign of this inner growth is value based life, truthfulness, non violence, honesty, straightforwardness. So, life is governed by values. That is the sign of inner growth. And there is a life of harmony. There is no ninja attitude. You know what is ninja? Ninja is a fighter. It's a Japanese fighter. So always some people have this tendency to fight. In fact, they say life is a fight, life is a battle. That's not a correct attitude. My attitude is to look upon life as a journey or life is a game, and my attitude is to be in harmony with others. So, first step, if you tell, the first step is objectivity, second step will be self acceptance. And I can get self acceptance by stop comparing myself with others. I need not be like others. Bhagavan has made me what I am. Why should I insult Bhagavan by trying to become like somebody else? Let me enjoy my uniqueness. And whatever omissions and commissions I had in my life, they were in order. I accept myself as I am. I love myself as I am. This is the sign of inner growth. And there is a commitment to have this inner growth characterized by those qualities which I mentioned.
Right. Swamiji, I really appreciate the way you have put this because self growth, self acceptance, mental expansion, and value based living, all of these are practices as well as parameters for us to check ourselves. Are we on the right path? And if we are not, it is a time to relook at what we are doing. Uh, so, Swamiji, just as we move towards the end of this segment, this so you have been teaching for such a long time, and also when I came there, I see very diverse student groups. Some are really from a professional field, some are from outside India, some are actually in this field. So when you teach these students in shorter retreats as well as in longer courses, do you see any common themes emerging both on the side of problems which people are facing as well as the solution to them?
Generally, I feel that people have the two problems. One is agraha, insistence. Other is vigraha, resistance. So I always tell people, don't bother about other grahas, Rahu, Ketu graha, the Buddha, Mangala, etc. To take care of these two graha, agraha and vigraha. Insistence. This is how it should happen. I am not ready to accept anything else. And resistance, vigraha. So slowly we need to learn to let go. People sometimes are not able to reconcile with the past they had. So we need to let go of our resistance to all facts of our life. Learn to accept the facts of life. Learn to accept yourself. Learn to accept the people around. And how can we accept ourselves and how can we accept others? By seeing that everybody is in order. With a given background, a given person will do whatever he or she is doing. You cannot be anything different. Your background will make you behave in a particular way. And therefore, Sarve Bhavanti Sthane, all are in order. I am in order. With my background, this is how I can be now. And of course, the order itself allows us to grow. So it is not that I am in order, therefore I don't progress. The order allows me to change my background. And when my background is changed, my behavior will change. My response will change. So we accept the fact at the same time, be ready for growth. It is not a passive acceptance, it's a dynamic acceptance. That is what we emphasize on that, and slowly it helps.
Right, Swamiji. And I think you covered a lot with these two grihas which you mentioned at the core of what we are facing. And even we are blaming others is because of some bit of insistence and resistance to not accepting what is happening currently.
Correct. Yes.
Swamiji, before we end, could you share a few of your either favorite shlokas or stories which you feel have helped you in your journey as well as have helped others?
One shloka, which is the first shloka of Bhagavan's teaching to Arjuna, is Ashocyananvashocastvam pragnavadamsha bhashase gatasuna gatasumsha. The last line, the last quarter, Nanu shochanti pandita. Wise people do not grieve. It means those who grieve are not wise people. Means my grief is coming from ignorance and ignorance based wrong conclusion. That this has touched my life. Whenever you are unhappy, you have sorrow, you can trace it back to some wrong conclusion, some ignorance of the fact. This has guided my life most of the time. That when some discomfort is there, means I have to see where is my wrong conclusion. What fact I am ignoring, or what wrong conclusion I am making. Make correction in oneself. In fact, one sign of spirituality is stop blaming the world and taking the responsibility for oneself. That is spirituality. So, your suffering is not because of any planets or your relatives, your spouse, children, and others. Your suffering is because of your wrong understanding and non understanding. So, remove non understanding, correct your misunderstanding, you will be all right. Satyam is always Shivam. The truth is always Mangalam, auspicious. And therefore, learn to be in touch with truth, true nature of yourself, the facts about the world, the facts about yourself.
Swamiji, may I request you to also just elaborate a little bit? So this the last part which you mentioned, Nanu Shochanti Pandita.
Pandita.
This is also almost a definition of who is a Pandit. A Pandit is somebody who has this knowledge.
Yes.
Could you just elaborate a little bit on that aspect?
Pandita is the one who has got the knowledge of the truth of Jiva, the individual, Jagat, the world, and Ishvara. One who knows the truth of Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara as oneself is a Pandita. And if this pandityam is there, then sorrow will not be there. Sorrow is there because of ignorance, and ignorance born wrong conclusion. This particular statement, if it is understood and assimilated well, then you will have right direction in finding the solution. Otherwise, generally our approach is to blame the world for our problems. If we can't blame the people around, we'll blame the planets. Oh my, this graha is not good, that graha is not good. You correct your understanding, correct your attitude, then sarve bhavanti sthane. You are okay. You are happy with yourself, you are happy with the world.
Thank you, Swamiji. Is there any final word which you would like to say to people in general as a means to live their life happily?
Love yourself and be grateful for everything you have.
Thank you, Swamiji. This was really enlightening, and in this short session, I think we covered many of common doubts which come to people. And thank you so much for taking the time. Namaskar. Namaskar.